This is my review for Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. I'll be wanting to call it Godzilla vs. Kong, but we already had that. So it's Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. This movie is directed by Adam Wingard. I had to look at it. I had to see. He directed a lot of movies. Hold on. He directed You're Next, She Dies Tomorrow, VHS, and Godzilla vs. Kong. And Blair Witch, the newer one, if I didn't say that. How did he get to Godzilla from all these horror movies? I don't know. But Adam Wingard is the director. The movie stars Rebecca Hall. She's back from the first movie. Brian Tyree Henry. You guys know I love him. Everything he's in, Atlanta, Spider-Verse, any movie he's in, I'm going to watch it regardless, even if it wasn't Godzilla and Kong. Dan Stevens is in this movie. I love him from Legion and anything else he's in. He's amazing. Did I say Rebecca Hall? She plays the mom again. And the same daughter as well, not Millie Bobby Brown, the other daughter is the one who can communicate with Kong via sign language and feel him and things like that. She's in this movie as well. So I actually love the fact that they expanded on that story and they made Godzilla vs. Kong more interesting. I definitely like this movie better than that movie. I don't know if everybody else feels that way, but I liked it better than Godzilla vs. Kong. It was interesting, but it kind of got to points where it's kind of like, boring, blah, blah, blah. Because I think Godzilla beat up Kong like the whole movie. But this movie, I feel like it leaned into exactly what you're looking for and everything you wanted. Definitely Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. They were like, we're going all out. We're giving people what they want. There is human stuff, but all the human stuff in this movie is very interesting. It expands on the story from the last movie, which I didn't think was that interesting. So it adds layers to something that wasn't that interesting before. And it's like, okay, you took something and made something better out of it. That's how I personally felt about it. I was like, you expanded the story that I didn't even think you would need to expand on. And you made something more interesting out of it. And now I kind of want to go back. I know the movie isn't that deep, but seeing the growth, it's the same director, so seeing the growth from the last movie to this movie is like, okay, you did great. I respect you. Go ahead and make another one. I don't even know, because this was the King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong. They might have another one. Also, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. That show is phenomenal. You guys need to watch that show. Kurt Russell, his son Riot Russell, Anna Sawai, she's in Shogun now. She was amazing in that show. What is her? Kiersey Clemens was in the show as well. She did a great job. And the son, I cannot remember his name, but he did an amazing job too. That movie that series, Godzilla, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, great. Definitely need to watch that. Check it out. It bridges the gap between, I think, Godzilla vs. Kong and Kong Skull Island, and then the first Godzilla movie, the 2014 one. It kind of bridges all of it. Adds more action, more kaiju, more monsters that you didn't see. This movie, actually, so the main villain is Scar King and Shimo. And Shimo is like this frost kaiju deity type thing that like can just spray ice and give people frostbite. Amazing. Amazingly powerful. I think it's very important in the lore as well. But Scar King is just this slender orangutan. He's not like that big. He's like kind of as big as Kong, but like a slim, more acrobatic, agile version. He has some dragon's like spine basically that he carries around, and he swings it and uses it like a whip and a chain kind of. He's kind of interesting. I'd say in this movie he's definitely, I want to say he's the blackest kaiju ever. There's a lot of his mannerisms and things that he does in this movie where it's like, yo, like this dude is super arrogant and cocky, but he's hilarious. It's like he has the audacity to do this, and he's pretty grimy. Like this dude is grimy in this movie. So Scar King, he was an interesting villain to me. A lot of people were complaining about him. I would say strength-wise, he's weak. But the way that he goes around it is kind of interesting, and it still makes it interesting. I mean, it's Godzilla and Kong. Like, you knew they wasn't going to lose. they was maybe gonna have like a little bit of a hard time, but they was gonna come out on top. Like we know what's gonna happen. Godzilla, the whole movie, he's just stomping people. He is mad. Not like actual people, but Godzilla, every kaiju he meets, it's a wrap. He's knocking them out, tearing them up. There's a part where Kong is trying to get him into the hollow earth so Kong can be like, yo, come help me. And Godzilla is like, I'm pissed. I see you. I'm trying to fight you because I've been fighting people this whole movie. And it's one of the most interesting, funniest scenes ever, especially with kaiju. This movie, what they did is they gave Godzilla, Kong, and all the other creatures, they gave them personalities. What is it? Shimo? He's the like baby orangutan Kong looking thing. Interesting in this movie. Annoying, but very interesting. They gave them personalities. And they kind of make fun of each other. They kind of have like little gestures. This movie was interesting to me. I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite ones out of all the movies. Because not only was there amazing fight scenes, there's a part where Godzilla literally suplexes Kong, like WWE style, like amazing. But not only just the fighting in the movie and the action, but it's interesting. I love to see where it was going, how it went. I love the places that they were, like that they went to Cairo at one point. I think they were in Brazil at one point. Just going all over the world, seeing the different kaiju. Tiamat is in this movie. I think the arachnid one is in this movie as well. They were in Rome at one point. Where else? What other kaiju is in this movie? There's a couple. So I love seeing the different creatures, the different designs. So for me, it was interesting. The Hollow Earth has a lot of creatures. Kong gets a lot of attention in this movie. He has his own, I wouldn't say subplot because he's part of the movie, but he has his own parts where it's like, okay, even if you're not that big a fan of Kong, like they made him even more interesting if you weren't that interested. Because me, I'm like, I usually come for Godzilla, but I'm interested in the Kong stuff. I'm ready to see it. The whole movie was interesting. I wouldn't say it's like, oh my god, this movie is like 10 out of 10, phenomenal masterpiece. But for what it was, to make the human stuff interesting, to make the story more interesting, and to keep the kaiju ever evolving, more interesting. A lot of the concepts of what they did with them in this movie, great. There is another kaiju that's in here, fan favorite. Not gonna ruin it. They didn't show it in the trailers. I'm glad they did not show it in the trailers. I'm glad they did like the Marvel thing where they kind of hide stuff. But it was worth it seeing that. The explanation for why the girl can't talk and why she's sign language with Kong, that was very interesting to me. I like how they tied that in. I enjoyed the movie. If you like Godzilla or Kong, you'll enjoy the movie. The movie's not too, I'd say for me, not too far-fetched. It's not like, oh, we just made this to make money. I feel like there's a lot of thought that went into it, and it was an enjoyable movie. Godzilla -1, I haven't got to watch it yet. I gotta wait. That movie, I can't wait to see it. I know it's phenomenal. But with the American and, Legendary, I think, Universal type of Godzilla Monsterverse, it's very interesting. The Apple TV show Monarch, check it out. I'm telling you, it's so good. Combined with the movies, combined with this new movie, amazing, worth it. Definitely got to check it out. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a blessed day.